All around me are familiar faces, unkept faces. I'm live. Okay, great. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Today we're going to be doing a little bit of World of Warcraft. We're specifically going to be queuing up for Antorus LFR, because if you wanted to see heroic raiding, you should not have picked the channel for lore. You're really in the wrong place. So, here we go. I'm not a tank. Last time I tanked in LFR, I literally threw up. Alright, so, we're also going to be doing some daily quests while we're sitting and waiting for the queues. There's two versions of the... So, yeah. Oh, I'm trying to get my rep up for Argus and... Hey, William, how are you? Glad to have you here. I was just chatting away like a moron. But yeah, I wanted to get my rep up for Argus and Reach, because that is how you unlock Void Elves, which are essentially blue elves for... Blue Blood Elves for the Alliance in the upcoming expansion. Everyone thinks they're going to be part of the pre-order, which I'm inclined to believe that. Oh, this guy's got the... This is the Transmog Scythe from the last boss of Antorus. That's really cool. I really love the model. It's, Okay, we gotta fight this lady. So, I also did not put up, my recount, because if you're here for high DPS, you came to the wrong channel. But I do have some weak auras up. Helps me with the deeps. I'm a big fan of Warrior. Warrior's my favorite class. I have an Alliance Warrior and I have a Horde Warrior. Just the toolkit with tanking and all that, really, I'm a big fan. I'm just gonna wait my turn here. There we go. Alright, where to next? The queue says it's gonna be about 30 minutes before I get into this thing, so we might be here for a bit. 41 minutes now. Super. Probably should have done this on Tuesday. But whatever, we'll have a good time. Like 20 feet from the last one. That's I literally see the corpse over there. It's still within view draw distance. Alright, cool. We can do this. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, there's one. There's one. There's one. Did I know about the Diablo event? Yes, I know what's going on, and that's actually going to be the next stream. I'm going to go... I don't know if I can actually do through the whole Diablo event in one thing, but if I can, I will. I have a Barbarian that's at max level that I'm going to be going through it with. But I'm really excited for that one. I love Diablo. Not the best at it, but I do love it. Where is the treasure chest? Give me your treasure. There we go. Alright. Hey, buddy. How you doing? But, yeah. And I apologize for those who are expecting lore videos this week. There are 2 recorded. I'm going to get them out as soon as possible. One of them is for WoW. It's for the allied races. And the other one is for Hearthstone. Going to be talking about kobolds and... Catacombs. I was going to say Cataclysm. Kobolds and Cataclysm is not an expansion. Need to go beat up that dude. Okay, no, it's just gonna be. Huh. I got Etrig here as my partner. Wait. You can get a butcher pet if you solo it at level 1? That's interesting. I had no idea. I gotta look up the rewards for that. Maybe, Where am I? Oh. No, I think you're the demon. Tiny child, you are the demon. Oh, well. Apparently accusing children of being demons is not kind. I'll look up the challenges and see if I can pull them off. Come on. You see, if I was a demon hunter, I could just activate that, you know, demon vision thing. Apparently I just gotta say, reveal yourself, demon, until somebody actually reveals themselves as a demon. Or we can just go into the... Yeah, you know what, fine, let's just go into the raid. It's probably gonna be easier here. So, Antorus. I was gonna do a video on Antorus as, like, the... thing. But the problem is that literally none of the bosses are really all that unique except the last two. So I'm going to open up the adventure guide here real quick. Yep, it's not blocked. Great. So that's just a big Doomguard? Felguard? Oh, I forgot the name of the friggin'... I'm just gonna start DPSing here. So, essentially what I'm trying to say here is that they're not unique. Agrimar is great, Argus is great, but, you know, like, the rest of them are just, like, they're demons we've really never heard of before. They have no really place in lore, because they've been here on Argus probably the entire time. Don't get me wrong, they're good fights, it's just, like, I don't... What do you want me to say? There's literally no lore here on Iminar but the Soul Flare, except what is in his thing. There we go. The infamous Iminar serves as the Legion's bloodhound, capable of tracking prey across the cosmos. With a vast array of gadgets and traps at his disposal, Iminar has yet to lose a bounty, and he certainly doesn't intend to sully his perfect record by failing to fulfill his latest contract, which apparently is to just hang out here and get beat up. So yeah, they all have their little lore snippet in there, but I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, there's a lot of lore about the Titans in here, and this kind of ties up the story of the Titans in a pretty good, cool way. Given that Eonar is a Titan. All right, you gotta run the gauntlet here. Ah, Jesus, why have I done this? I can't believe you've done this. Oh, shit. Let someone else, just someone else hit all the traps, and then I'll just go DPS at the end. So, yeah. Iminar the Soul Flare, he's a pretty cool guy. He's kind of a different version of a Felguard, but that's about all he's got on him. Which is unfortunate. But I was hoping, like, some of the other Draenei figures would be in here. Varamathras is cool. Varamathras is super cool. Let's talk about Varamathras. So, Varamathras here was a Dreadlord who was partially in charge of the attack on, you know, Legion, attack on Azeroth for the Legion in the Third War, Warcraft 3. They failed, obviously, and Sylvanas took over Lordaeron and needed a right-hand man, woman, whatever. He's a man. Needed a right-hand person, so she brought on the Dreadlord Varamathras, basically threatening to kill him if he didn't go along with it. Where did the Titans come from? Alright, I'll pop into that, since you asked. So the Titans are the ones who created the universe. They, there's no real lore on where they came from. It's just that everything came from them. Gauntlet time, gauntlet time. So everything came from them. They're responsible for making things. Now, there's a whole bunch of them. Ionar was one of them. Agrimar was another. Sargeras was another. Khazgaroth. You know the 4 pillars that we collected in Legion? Those were those are the names of the Titan. Khazgaroth, Agrimar, that sort of thing. But anyway, so they created stuff, and Sargeras, while he was exploring the cosmos, looking for new Titans, found a Titan who was corrupted by the Void. You know, like a Titan egg, essentially. Because they are born from worlds, a world soul. Azeroth is the world soul of a Titan. That's why it's so important to people. So Sargeras decides to murder it and goes back and tells them, hey, this is what happens when you when they're corrupted by the Void. We need to stop this from happening. And they're like, how could you kill a Titan? That's terrible. Not, you know, it's... So Sargeras was like, okay, you know what? If you're not going to do the hard thing and make sure the Titans aren't corrupted by the Void, I will. So he goes and collects a lot of demons and forms the Burning Crusade. And then what we learned in this raid, actually, was that Sargeras has collected the souls of all the other Titans and is going to use them for something. It's not really specified for what. I think he's just going to make a fell pantheon, essentially. Ooh. I like those. Let's put them on. So anyway, this is the last boss of this one, unfortunately. So I'm going to pop right back out. So he's going to make a fell pantheon and then move on Azeroth to try and corrupt it as well. We still haven't figured out the demon over here? Seriously? It's been like 10 minutes. Come on. Alright. So. Is it you? No. So yeah, we defeat Sargeras in this raid, and specifically we defeat Argus, because Argus was the home planet of the Durant. There you are, you son of a beast. Please don't pull me in before he dies. Please don't pull... Come on, come on, come on. Deep, 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 deep. Yes! Great. I can leave. Okay, so, yeah, so Sargeras was going to corrupt everything. Mostly he was going to corrupt the entire Pantheon to be a fell Pantheon in order to go stop the Void. His goal was, Sargeras' goal that is, was essentially to destroy everything so that the Void would not corrupt anything. There's nothing for the Void to corrupt, therefore, you're good. Okay, cool, this is the beginning. So yeah. But nobody really knows where the Titans came from. It's just kind of like they were there. Need some water. Water, water, water. Oh, jeez. I die on trash on stream. Oh, wait, no, they pulled all the trash. That's why we're dying. It's okay. I forgive them. This trash is kind of terrible, and I don't really want to be a part of it either. So, do Titan eggs kill all the people on the world when it hatches? We don't know, because we've never seen one hatch. We've only heard of them being destroyed, and heard of that's where they come from. Descriptions of the Titans actually do mention like mountains and forests on their bodies, so it's entirely possible that, you know, the world is fully intact on the Titan. But it's just hearsay at this point. Interestingly enough, the last boss of this instance, Argus, the Unmaker, gonna pop open the model for him. This is the world soul of Argus, the home planet of the Draenei. So essentially, the Draenei's planet had a world soul, and this is the corrupted version of it. Hold on, let me change the game mode. Is it possible to... Yep, here we go. Mythic. Does it change? No, it doesn't. Okay, there's a different red version of him. With, that's Sargeras empowered. As far as I'm aware, the Warcraft creation, the universe's clash between light and shadow. I think that's correct, yeah. I haven't read Warcraft Chronicle in a while. And plus they've contradicted it already. But yeah, that sounds about correct. Why those existed before the universe? Yeah, you're right. Nobody knows. Why them clashing created everything? Who knows? Some say that arcane magic is the in-between of that. I believe there's like this lovely little like chart where everything's in circles and it shows like the in-betweens of everything. I've used it in a couple of videos in the past. Yeah, so Argus here, he is the world soul of Argus. He's pretty friggin' big. But the interesting thing is, though, he's not the size of the planet. He's not the planet himself. So I'm wondering if, you know, when Argus was shattered and everything like that, and corrupted, it didn't, like, stunt his growth or something? Like, I'm not sure. He's clearly not Fel-empowered? Because isn't Fel-empowerment green? They've a very strict green theme, if you haven't noticed. But I've been curious about Argus in that fashion. Like, is it just because he's like a prematurely born Titan? Like, and Titans are from the Titans are manifestations of the arcane. That may be why they're blue. It's blue, but I mean just because they're manifestations of the arcane doesn't mean they can't manifest in other ways. For example, Eonar, the life giver. Where is she? There she is. Eonar, essence of Eonar, yep. Eonar here controls life magic. Like, that's her thing. Like, she created Shalazar Base and she created Ungoro Crater as a way to, you know, experiment on life in Azeroth. So even though they are manifestations of the arcane, they can, you know, be a part of other things. They can control other things, which I've always found interesting. They dabble in other things much as, you know, mortals do. Some of them didn't really use magic at all. I don't think Agrimar uses much magic. Where are you, Agrimar? There you are. Abilities. Yeah, no, he just uses fire. Lots of fire and swords. So yeah, like, Agrimar, despite being a manifestation of the arcane, was a caster. He just straight up punched things. But yeah, this guy right here is essentially a big Fel, ah, man, why can't I remember the name of this thing? Fel Reaver, that's it, Fel Reaver. They're in the friggin', Hellfire Peninsula, and they're terrible. And they give me nightmares. Alright, so, yeah. Let's pop this open again real quick. Coven of Shivara is just some Shivara. Like, some of the bosses in here are nice, but I just don't have anything on them. Kingarath, he's their engineer, essentially. He's the one who creates Fel Reavers. His new super weapon, by the way, that you mentioned in here, is just a whole bunch of Fel Reavers. Which, admittedly, is not very... But yeah, there's no lore for them outside of these little blurbs. Portal Keeper, Isabel. She just does a lot of portal stuff. Fellhounds of Sargeras is... You know, Sargeras' kennel. Antoran High Command, or some Draenei, who betrayed Argus and basically became generals of the Legion. Right, I was talking about Varimathras. So, Sylvanas bullied Varimathras into becoming her right-hand man in the Undercity. In the Frozen Throne expansion of Warcraft 3. He stayed like that until Wrath of the Lich King, in which he betrayed Sylvanas and tried to take over the Undercity and, you know, the Forsaken for the Burning Legion. He failed and was knocked back and was, you know, put back into a portal. And Sargeras took him back, essentially. But he wasn't having a good time, because Sargeras was really kind of banking on that, and he failed. So, he tortured Varimathras into this BDSM reject here. And now we gotta fight him again. Right, no, that wasn't the thing I need to jump away for. Never mind. I'm a moron. This is only LFR, so don't worry. Hope you weren't expecting mad deeps. Now I should run away. And okay. Alright, so yeah, anyway. Varimathras has been tortured by the Coven of Shivar. The vindictive sisters stripped away both flesh and sanity, leaving only a singular desire to inflict suffering upon the mortals who cost him everything. Here's an interesting thing, though. He, during the fight, he says some predictions about, what will happen in the future. And maybe I can bring those up right after this fight. Varimathras fight quotes. Here we go. Did I get anything, by the way? I don't know if I did. I did not get anything. Great. Oh yeah, at the very beginning. So your alliance still endures, longer than I expected, though she has already planted the seeds of its downfall. She is patient, that one. When your thrones run red with betrayal, when your holy places burn and the shattered mask hangs above your hearth, only then you will know, and it will be too late. Spooky! You are blind to the true darkness, closing it around you. A lot of people assume that also refers to the Void. But yeah, that's the Alliance version. The Horde version is... Where is it? Gonna keep whirlwinding. Because how do Undead and the Scourge fit into this? I'm glad you asked. Okay, so, funny story. The Scourge is actually... So the Scourge and the Undead were actually made by the Burning Legion. So, we're going to rewind a bit back to Warcraft 2. There was an orc named Ner'zhul who was responsible, in part, for, you know, the corruption of the orcs, originally. So, he tried to escape from the Burning Legion by going into a bunch of portals. Killy J, the lovely guy with sunglasses I have up on the screen right now, found him, tortured him, and put his soul into a set of armor, and made him the Lich King. And essentially this was the Burning Legion's next bid to take over the world. They were going to use the Lich King and his shadow magic to create an army of undead and take over the world. But Ner'zhul had other plans and corrupted the Prince Arthas, who later on became the Lich King by claiming the armor. The thing is, Arthas took orders from the Lich King, not the Burning Legion. He took orders from the Burning Legion because he had to, but They had always planned to betray the Burning Legion. After the Burning Legion took, whatever forces they wanted, left the Eastern Kingdoms, went over to Kalimdor to try to destroy the World Tree and get at the magic well beneath it, they chose to... Arthas traveled to Northrend to try and, reclaim the armor. And become the Lich King up there. Because the Scourge were no longer, in control of the Legion after they lost, they kind of just left them there. Because they're just like, oh, we lost, whatever. Some Dreadlords hung out in Lordaeron, just hanging out with the Scourge, and just, oh, I guess we're just going to wait to see, what the next plan is, whatever. Varamathras betrayed the other Dreadlords and joined up with Sylvanas, who was turned undead by that point. There should be doggos here. Where are the doggos? So he joined up with Sylvanas and betrayed the other Dreadlords. And, took over Lordaeron for... I think as melee, I need to be on this guy. Took over Lordaeron for Sylvanas. And he just bided his time and waited. So yeah, the reason the Forsaken exist are because of the Burning Legion. They are the product of the Burning Legion. Now, the little mysteries that are involved with this is... I've always wondered if Undeath... Well, I should be away from this. Undeath is related to Void Magic. Because it is kinda... Void Magic-y. A lot of the Necromancers use Shadow Magic. But it's never really been explained. It's also never really been explained well where Killy J got the armor of the Lich King to shove it into. It wasn't really specified that he made it or not. And I don't want to be in that thing. I'm gonna go over here. So it's just a very interesting little tidbit there. I've always wondered where it came from, because some of the artifact descriptions. Come on. Some of the artifact descriptions of, some of the weapons that came from the Nathrezim, pretty much none of them say, they made them. I think only one of them was actually made by the Dreadlords. The rest of them were just kind of found through conquering, and, they just, kept them and then started killing people with them, like you do. So, I've always been curious if there's, another planet that the Lich King's armor came from. If there was a spirit in there beforehand. But right now, the Lich King is Bolvar Fordragon, sharing the helmet with the dead spirits of Ner'zhul and Arthas. Even though they are canonically dead, they do kind of hang around as just echoes of their former self, because... they were both pretty powerful dudes. And pretty prone to violence. So. But yeah, so that's how the Undead and Scourge fit into it. The Undead happened because of the Legion. Because, screw doing things sensibly. So yeah, then Varamathras betrayed Sylvanas, lost, and then became this handsome fellow right here. I'm trying to find the Horde one. Oh, here we go. So, she found me at last, sent her underlings to finish the job. Tell me, when she seized your throne of hides and bones, was your allegiance forced? No, I'd wager you surrendered it willingly, or were convinced you did. It matters not. You're blind to the darkness in your midst. So he is much like the big eyeball dude from early in the expansion, implying there's going to be a lot of betrayal going on next expansion, which I find interesting. Oh, Jesus, I am dying. Which I find very interesting because... the trailer for Battle for Azeroth kind of implies more unity within the factions rather than betrayal. But everyone's kind of assuming that next expansion we're going to see En-N'Zoth, the final Old God. I mean, it's been confirmed already that we're going to be finally fighting as Shara. As Shara? Don't know how to pronounce that. Which I'm kind of upset about, honestly, because she's such a cool character, she deserves her own expansion. But that's neither here nor there. Come on. Alright. Almost done with this guy. There we go. Flame-licked girdle. Mmm. Delicious. Is it an upgrade? It is an upgrade. Alright. We'll see what it looks like. Crotch skulls are all the rage this expansion. Ah, yes, the next boss is the elevator boss. Mm. So yeah, there's an elevator in here. I considered doing a funny video of the history of elevator bosses in WoW. I may still do it. Did someone drop a Blingtron in here? Weird. So anyway, let's talk a bit about the Titans again. Right, I didn't finish that story. So, Sargeras put together his Burning Legion and single-handedly killed all of the other Titans. He's a very powerful dude. So, he then hunted down their souls, which fled away. The last one he needs is Ionars, who we help in this raid to create his Fel Pantheon. Since then, he's been basically using his Fel army, the Burning Legion, to hunt down world souls and just destroy worlds. That's it. He'll either recruit it or destroy it. If the world has a world soul in it, he will either recruit it or destroy it. So the entire Burning Legion was created to try and stop the Void, which is interesting because that's what the Light was trying to do. They just, you know, weren't doing it by trying to murder everybody, which is generally a faux pas for, you know, just stuff. It's not polite at a dinner party to say, hey, I just want to murder everything. Super witty. I know. Alright. Elevator boss, elevator boss. Oh, that guy is Agrimar's sword. I want it. It's such a cool model. Where are you? There we go. That thing. Agrimar's broken sword. Oh, let's talk about Agrimar's broken sword, shall we? That has a cool story behind it. Where are you? There we go. Where are you, bird? Gorshalok's legacy. Come on. No. Oh no, that's mythic. Raid finder. Warrior. Well, anyway, so Gorshalok is a two-part sword. Actually, it's split into two. One part belongs to Agrimar, the other part belongs to Sargeras. So yeah. Let me look at it. Gorshalok. Well, I died. People always die at the elevator boss. I'm going to use the Onyxian Drake. That is in Spanish. I can't read that. That's you know what? Just screw it. There are two parts of the same sword, is what I'm trying to say here. They're broken in two. Because Agrimar and Sargeras were essentially brothers. They were the enforcers of the Titans. They would go out and fight against the Void and the demons, and Sargeras would, you know, imprison their enemies so they wouldn't regenerate, rather than killing them and waiting for them to regenerate and then killing them again. So, it's a pretty neat thing. The sword got broken in two because of a fight between the two. It's sad. So sad. Them boys got along so well. Alright. So yeah, it's interesting that Legion is the end of a lot of storylines. You know, the class hall really wrapped up a lot of stories. They added new threads, don't get me wrong, but it's like, you know, what happened to the Wandering Isle? What happened to, you know, the Ashbringer, and you know, all these little things that got popped around. Come on. Nope. Okay. Well, guess we're going to hang out down here. What is an elevator boss? Okay, so in a lot of raids, there's a big old elevator that'll take you up really high, and people have a really bad habit of falling off of them and dying. So they will be referred to as an elevator boss. This elevator boss is particularly interesting because if you stand underneath the elevator, when it comes down, it dies. Every other elevator in the game, you'll simply clip through it and you'll get on top. This elevator will kill you. And I find it absolutely hilarious. I like these shoulders. They're pretty neat. I don't think they match anything that I own. I'm a big transmogger. So yeah, you can fall down and just die. Just straight up die. And you'd be surprised how many people do that. Okay, now we can fight Antorus LFR. This is the council. This is the generals of the Burning Legion. Look at my guild. Okay, what guild are you in? I can't tell. Where are you, Warren? Nah, not even gonna. Alrighty. Right, ads. So yeah, so I'm not actually going to be making I like to make a video about every raid tier, but I'm not going to be making a video about Antorus because I don't think there's just enough to talk about, you know. All of it can really be explained in like a background of the Titans or that sort of thing. Or a background on the Draenei, or that sort of thing. It's kind of just a conclusion of their story. Hey, here's some more demonic Eridar. And some Titan stuff. Which is neat, don't get me wrong. Alright, she's in the pod now, Chief Engineer Ishkar is on the scene, and I am dying. Why am I dying? Why am I dying? Let's take out the one in the skull. I believe, let me check what the next wing is. Hope's End is Kingaroth, Varamathras, and the Coven of Shivara. Which is neat. We're actually going to see the introduction to Varamathras. I'm in queue for it, I believe. Yes, I am. So it shouldn't be a problem. I don't religiously do this every week, but I like to see all the new content, you know? I'm not in a raiding guild. I haven't been in a raiding guild since Wrath of the Lich King. I raided every single tier in Wrath of the Lich King, and then we got all the way up to the Lich King, the last boss of the expansion, and then my guild broke up then, and then I haven't done any serious raiding since. I just do dungeons and stuff. Mythic Dungeons has been my favorite part. The Return to Karazhan was my favorite patch, hands down. And here's one more. So, it's actually been confirmed that I believe Felguards, like this guy is, are Draenei. They, like, are legitimately just overly corrupted Draenei. You know, like those orcs who get so fel-empowered they become big hulking beasts that look barely anything like themselves? That basically happened to these guys. So it's very interesting. Are they actually in the... I'm wondering what these pods are. They're like command pods? They just go into a pod and like shout orders at things? Is it like... Does it have controls in there? What on earth is in there? Why don't they just stay in there? I guess to keep us from just prying open a pod and stabbing them, but still. Like, what are the pods? What's the pods for? Pod people, pod people. They're just demons who live in pods. I'm dead. Gonna get some water. While we're sitting here dead and waiting for our loot, let's talk about something else. Specifically, Argus. So yeah, if you haven't noticed, Argus was totally just messed up. Highest port in WoW was Wrath. Yeah, no, the story, I still find the story great. I know a lot of people complain about it on the WoW forums, as well as literally everything else they complain about on the WoW forums, but I really enjoy it. You know, it's fun. It doesn't need to be too in-depth or crazy. I read all the books, obviously, except for the War of the Ancients. I haven't read the War of the Ancients. I'm not big on elves. That's the thing. I'm just not... I don't know. Something about elfness doesn't really appeal to me. But I've read all of the books. I'm planning on getting the one... I've already pre-ordered Before the Storm, which is the prequel book to Battle for Azeroth, which is going to be great. And all that jazz. Yeah, no, I'm really excited where the story's going. Because I'm going to be unlocking Zandalari and Dark Iron Dwarf pretty much immediately. I love both those races. And just everything they're doing seems cool. You know? But yeah, no, I'm also excited to see the conclusion of this and the big old sword stab. By the way, I didn't mention that. At the end of this instance, Sargeras actually shows up and just stabs Silithus. He just stabs it. Alright, I'm going to pop out here. And let's get into Q. There we go. Hope's End. We're going to be going up against some dude. And then Vermathras. Who are we going to get? Kingarath, who is the essentially engineer and creates all the Fel Reavers. We can see some of his trash up there. Vermathras. And then the Coven of Shivara. You know, if you're into six-armed ladies, by all means, don't let me judge you. I like our orc druid over there. I don't know what that even is. Why do you exist? How often do things retain themselves after being infused with Fel? That's an interesting question. So, in order to talk about that question, I need to talk about demon hunters. Essentially, there aren't a lot Demon Hunters and Warlocks. There aren't a lot of creatures in the universe who infuse themselves with Fel or use Fel magic without having a extreme desire for power. And they usually gorge themselves on it and become basically demonic, you know, parodies of what they once were. So Warlocks are ones who use Fel magic and summon demons, but don't often infuse themselves with it. They still have... they still suffer negative effects of it, specifically the fact that Fel magic is very addicting. It gives you this, like, hot rush of power. So, you know, people who do it poorly really want more of it, more of it, more of it, and eventually become a demon themselves. Demon Hunters, on the other hand, infuse themselves with Fel in order to fight demons. So they essentially go through this ritual where they eat a demon's heart and then stab out their own eyes. I made a video about that, actually. I still don't know if, like, they're required to stab out their own eyes, or if just, like, everyone else is doing it. So why not you do it, too? But, yeah, they stab out their own eyes. So they see in magic. They see the universe in magic. That's why they all have blindfolds, or, you know, have, like, just, like, empty eye sockets. But they actually infuse themselves with Fel. Canonically, all demon hunters have wings. This is the... this was done in a Q&A. All of them have wings all the time, but they don't show them all the time, like on this demon hunter model over here, because it would just completely cover the character model and you wouldn't be able to see them at all. But it's very difficult to, you know, resist the power temptations, and especially for demon hunters, they either go crazy with you know, wanting more power, or just straight up blow up. Like in the demon hunter starting area, one of them just blew up because he had too much Fel power. It was bonkers. But yeah. Let me. I'm gonna switch my dude. We're gonna hang out with Archie for a bit. Archie and Killy J, the generals of the Legion. Oh no, however will we run away from this slow-moving beam? Watch me die to it later and just be a total jerk. Apocalypse Protocol, that sounds nasty. Oh, okay. Ping the map here. We need people on this, like, immediately. But yeah, this guy just makes constructs. It's great. So I'm on a role-playing server, if you didn't know this. So I have a friend who asks me quite often different lore questions because of kind of character concepts they've been doing. And so golems. Golems are actually a big part of Draenei culture. I don't know if you've seen, like, Sokrathar from the final raid of Warlords of Draenor. The concept was introduced in there, and there's a couple of them in here too, mostly pilotable ones. But the Draenei have golems that essentially they put people's souls into, and they use them as guardians. What is this, like, super monkey ball thing going on over here? Yeah, no, right? I have no idea why they did that. Cain is not my first choice for Demon Hunter leader, but, you know. Yeah, no, he just, like, hey, buddy, I know you're having a hard time here. Here's magical secrets on how to infuse yourself with demonic power. And he just straight up blows up. Like, who does that? What kind of maniac? To be fair, you gotta be a special kind of maniac to become a demon hunter in the first place. Literally stab your own eyes out, okay? And, yeah, you're good. Friggin' weirdos. I want to play Demon Hunter more. It's just, I despise their DPS spec, and I don't tank anymore. I'll tank in dungeons, don't get me wrong. I used him in a lot of mythic dungeons. Demon Hunters are great for mythic dungeons. But, no, not in raids. No, not a chance. Especially because in raids these days, especially in LFR, like, it's just every single fight is a tank swap. That's it. You have 2 tanks, you wait for a buff, and then you taunt off, and it's just not fun anymore. Did one of our healers die? Yes, they did. Top-notch work. Anyway. But yeah, Antorus is just full of demons. Demony demons. The demoniest of demons. Like, there are very few parts of this raid that aren't bright friggin' green. What's the last part? Oh, after the Coven of Shivara, it's just Agrimar and Argus. Is that going to be 1 or 2? It's going to be 1. Yep. Now it's I gotta go. Remember when I said I was going to be hit by that later? It's probably because I keep looking at the dungeon journal. But yeah, so in about 2 weeks, I believe, this is the first week that this wing has been done. We're going to get Agrimar and Argus. Apocalypse Protocol, where are we going? Where are we going? We're going over there, great. Just going to jog all the way over with my big-ass shoulder pads. You know, no problem here. No biggie. And nothing but a chicken wing. This is an interesting fight. I like this. He just activates different things. I got mail. Probably because I forgot to loot that last boss. Why are you... No. No. Oh. So remember when I said earlier that I wasn't going to get hit by that thing? Remember when I got hit by that thing? So yeah, let's go back to talking about Argus, shall we? So, Argus here got messed up. It's Antorus here is essentially a citadel meant to burrow deep into the core of the planet and get at the world soul so that Sargeras could corrupt it. Still don't know why Argus is blue and not green, but whatever. You know, fell things are usually green. But Argus is definitely at some point possessed by Sargeras himself in the mythic version. That's the special mythic only phase. Because it never goes to... It goes in normal. It goes to phase 1, 2, and then 3. In the mythic version, it goes 1, 2, skips 3, goes straight to 4. But anyway. Are we winning here? Are we losing? I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're doing okay. We could be doing worse. But, yeah. So, Argus is definitely corrupted, and we kill him. With the world soul of Argus gone, the Burning Legion dismantled, there's very little left on Argus for anyone to deal with. To be honest, the only place that's even mildly, like, looking like Argus used to is Macari, which is right here. And even then, it's still full of, like, this place is messed up with void creatures and demons and stuff. It's never going to be what it used to. So, the Draenei live on Azeroth now. Their dream of possibly reclaiming their homeland, I mean, they technically did it, but it's worthless now. Like, you can't farm there. You can't farm on this. What are you going to do with this? Nothing. We'll probably go here for artifacts and try to collect memorabilia and things like that, but it's just not going to happen, man. Which is interesting. It kind of brings the Draenei story that they came in with to a conclusion. What are the beings of the void that the Titans fight? So, alright, this is going to get confusing because of their naming convention. At the very top of the list are Void Lords. These are essentially really powerful Void beings that only live in the Void. They cannot exist outside of the Void. Next down are Old Gods. They're essentially these, like, parasitic creatures that they shot out randomly across the galaxy, and hoping that they would get seeded on planets where they would, you know, infest a Titan world soul. Because that's their goal. They're currently at a standstill with the light, so they're hoping to corrupt a Titan to get them on their side. And essentially take out the light for good. So that's Void Lords and Old Gods. Next down on the list are Void Gods. That's the confusing part. Void Lords are top, Old Gods next, Void Gods second. What a Void God is so Narus are kind of them light wind chime dudes. When they die, or when they go through a cycle where they shift from light to dark. That's one of the bosses in the dungeon that was released in the Argus raid. Why is this place collapsing? Was he a load-bearing end boss? But, so, where was I? Right, so when a Naru goes into a shadow phase, it becomes a Void God, which is essentially a really powerful shadow being. Beyond that, did I get a... What did I get? Oh, a relic. Ah, okay, sure. That seems okay. I think people... We're going to the burning throne. We're going to the burning throne. So yeah, down there are just kind of like the acolytes and various beings of shadow. Usually creatures that have devoted themselves to the old gods and the void and been given power. Ethereals, for example, were once physical creatures, but the void took over their planet and turned them into... Why did I get knocked away? It turned them into essentially beings of energy instead. Look, they're tiny little Titan dudes. Why? No, you're not allowed to reconstitute. Alright, so Tarnath, Keeper of Fire. So now these are actually corrupted Titan constructs. What we're fighting right now, not demons anymore. And I'm really glad that this section is not green. Well, mostly not green. Getting kinda tired of that color. We are getting killed by trash. I want to play Hunter, it's just I can't get used to the playstyle. Alright, so. Now we're in an actual Titan facility here. Oh, gee, no. Come on. No! Stop it! Oh, here's Varamathers. Apologies if I'm quiet. I'm listening to this. This is the first time I've done this. Focus on your duty. These souls are nearly ready to join Flavor text. Oh, Magnai's here. Hey, Crystal Buddy, how you doing? Who's also here? Velen's here, and Illidan. Okay, so yeah, he's looking to put together the Fel Pantheon in order to get Azura. Oh, Jesus! Mind the gap. Hey, buddy. How you doing? You having a good old time? That's good. That's great. You kind of ugly. Kind of oogly. I didn't look at his abilities. Okay, don't get knocked, a position marked prey to avoid and get out of dark fissure. Okay. Move out of the things. Got it. Should be easy. We doing this? We doing this? Let's do this. Please do. Thank you. Could use some torment, thanks. Did I just... Oh, interesting. Oh, no, no. The Shivar above are casting spells in here. That's hilarious. It's unknown if Shivara and Succubi are related, but they tend to hang out a lot. So, I mean, there's that. His health is going by pretty quickly, actually. This is not so bad. Yeah, he's kind of crazy. Very doesn't give the debuff. Oh, okay, cool. You're good. You only charge from overextended. Great. This is not so bad. It's just a regular old tank and spank. I like how both our tanks are druids. Druids had some great lore this expansion. I think the best class halls were Druid, Death Knight for sure. Paladin had a great one. Demon Hunters were okay. Hunters were okay. How many types of demons there are? Dozens. Oh my goodness. There's Dreadlords, there's Pit Fiends, there's Fel Guards, there's Fel Reavers, there's Moarg, there's Satyr, there's Imps, there's Imp Mothers, which are technically the same race, if you can believe it. There's just tons, because the Burning Legion, what they would do is they would either recruit or corrupt a race. And they would just keep, like, as they rolled through worlds and annihilated them, they'd just add. Because on each world, there was usually somebody willing to betray his people to, just, you know, ultimate power and immortality. Because demons, regenerate in the, Twisting Nether. Sargeras was using Argus, this world soul here, to regenerate them faster. But, either way, they still are essentially bound to the Twisting Nether and regenerate. So that's why Varimathras is here being tortured and wasn't just killed and thrown away. Because if he just killed him, he would just come back and be like, "Fight me, bro. I'm ripped. Fight me, Scrumlord, I'm ripped." I really like the job they did on this model with the torn wings and everything. Because with the amount of Dreadlords we fought in this expansion, you gotta really, like, up your ante when it comes to this, because... Ooh. Yep, I'm in the thing. You also use the Shadow Magic. Is Fel Reaver a mech in Hearthstone? A Fel Reaver is a mech in Hearthstone, yes. They're not considered demons in Hearthstone. But generally they are demons, kinda. It's weird. They're Fel constructs, I guess is the best way to put it. Not a big fan of the Fel Reaver card in Hearthstone, because it's a 8/8 that does damage to you. It's a little much every time something happens. The one-time hit costs I can do, but, like, every time something happens, that can be exploited real badly by your opponent. Bittertide Hydra has lost me a match. There we go. Alright. Trying to remember my rotation. I was doing Arms Warrior wrong for the longest time. More loot! This is great. I got a trinket. Well, there goes the Windscar Whetstone. Sorry, buddy. Got replaced. I prefer equip effects rather than on-use effects, because just it's hard enough to keep track of them. Demon Mech, yes, the Fell Reaver. It was one of the bosses we fought. Let me bring it up. This guy. He is essentially a Fell Mech. He was created by this guy. The dude that we fought who had all the little mechs that I died from that big blast that I said that I wouldn't die from. What are we doing? Oh, I see. Okay. Clever. They wanted to reset the fight. I can dig it. Alright, so. Get some water here. Ooh. Why are there only 2? I thought there were 4. Oh, they're over there. And they reset. Oh, because we're rating on this guy over here. Hey, buddy. How you doing? So apparently, so it seems like we only fight 2 at a time. Okay. That's a little like the LFR of that Mist of Pandaria raid with the 4 dogs. Coven of Shivara. There's Nora, Asara, Dima, and Greg. The 4 Shivara. Where's the 4th one? I see 3. I don't know, maybe Greg's on vacation. Alright. Apparently one of our tanks isn't ready, so we're just hanging around. In case you don't know why this dwarf is shining bright like a diamond, it's because he is Magni Bronzebeard. He was once the king of Ironforge. When the Cataclysm came around, he was hoping to save his city, which is mostly underground, and the Cataclysm had a lot of earthquakes, so he's understandably concerned. He tried to commune with the spirits of the earth, and in the process he got turned to diamond, and he was stuck as a stone for like years. Then right before Legion he woke up, and was like, hey, I've been talking to Azeroth, the planet. She's been saying I gotta do some stuff, but, so I'm not gonna disrupt anything with your, you know... It's just killing things, okay. Wow. That is one heck of a thong. Okay. So, yeah. So he is taken on the responsibility of being the speaker for the planet. He speaks for, Azeroth, the planet. He speaks for the trees. You gonna do something here, buddy? Or are you just gonna stand there looking all... There we go. Once I started staring at him, he obviously felt guilty. My limbs roasting. Roasty limbs. Who likes a good kebab? Still glad that all of this is... Ooh, I really like that barrier there. So if you don't remember, or you never experienced it, Old War and the Titans, you know, their stuff tends to be blue, like this. When it's corrupted by Sargeras, it's red. Regular Fel energy is green. So I like that little distinction there between, you know, regular Titan energy and just, you know, Sargeras is here and is messing things up. I don't know how the color scheme's supposed to go. Oh, Jeebus. Could you not? Alright, well. I got zapped. That's good. Inflicts 1 million nature damage to any players that stand next to each other. Okay. Shoulda read the notes. Alright. Did they just disappear? No, they're actually killing them. Okay. They're figuring it out. See what we should have done. Apparently nothing. It doesn't tell me anything. Torment of the Titans. Oh, there's different torments. Torment of... We got the Fury of Golganeth. And there's a bunch of different ones. Amanthul is the magic one. He's also has a dominion over time. Golganeth I don't remember. I know he's related to Thorim. Khazgaroth? I don't remember. Norganon. Norganon is the magic one. Amanthul is the time one. What are dragons in WoW? Oh yeah, they were. In Hellfire Peninsula, you can see the really, really fell corrupted orcs who are just like bright red and spiky. Dragons in WoW. Dragons in WoW are connected to the Titans. They were given their powers by the Titans and told to protect the world, and they've done a pretty shit job of it, to be honest with you. Just absolute garbage job of protecting the world. I suppose you could say Nosdormu has done a pretty good job protecting time, but we've had to help him too, so I mean, I'm not really too keen on that. But anyway, so there's the bronze dragonflight who protects time, the red dragonflight who protects life, the black dragonflight who was supposed to protect the earth, but they got corrupted by the old gods and they just beat people up now. The blue dragons who are supposed to protect time, no, blue dragons protect magic, and the green dragons who are also kind of like life. I don't know. It's a different kind of life, I guess the best way to put it. Like, the red dragons are the preservers, they preserve life, but the green dragons have dominion over druids and the Emerald Dream and all that, which is powered by life magic. It's not very well defined here. We're dead. We're dead here. We're just gonna have to do this again. Which is fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. No, that's one of the golems I was telling you about before. Draenei put themselves in these golems, but the Army of Light made rideable versions. I'm riding the Onyxian Drake, because I'm very lucky. Still want Baron Rivendare's mount. That hasn't dropped for me yet. I'm gonna repair. Come on, come on. Just let me... Okay, fine. No repairs then. Nobody gets any repairs. Can we jump to... Oh, there's a hole there. Can I... No, I can't. Okay. I thought I could go down there. You know, when I made these, I was kind of concerned that Archimonde there would be too obstructive, but I find it funnier that way, so I'm not changing it ever. Let's try this again. With 10 stacks of determination, we can defeat just about anything. Sorry, I specifically block out the chat in case any of my friends message me with something ridiculous. Also because there's guild chat, and because I assumed they didn't want their stuff streamed, you know? Anyway. I don't know why these three don't help us. They just stand and stare. Like, this guy's literal job is to kill demons. He just does that. That's his job. He made the people who do that job. He is responsible for that job existing. Is there a reason we should not... Do we do heroism? Like, what am I... Okay, cool. So, That's gonna beat people up. So the warrior class hall actually has a lot to do with the titans, because you're serving a titan watcher. The titan watchers were created by the titans and left on Azeroth. Not necessarily to protect it, more to just like monitor it and just keep an eye on things. They eventually pretty much all got corrupted in some way, shape, or form. We saved some of them. All the ones in Old War were saved, which is good. We did not manage to save the ones in the Vault of Archavon or in Uldaman. I don't know why we fought the ones in Uldir. The ones in, was it Uldir? Yeah, now I gotta look. Azeroth, Kalimdor, and Courage. Uldum, that's it, Uldum. Oh, Jeebus. Okay, we're gonna hang on over here. That's useful, that's cool, I like that. This is a really cool mechanic. Unfortunately, it's gonna lead to several people's deaths. Come on, come on, okay, great, good. Just wanted to make sure I didn't die. So yeah. The Titan Watchers were really meant to just watch and observe. Old War had the call, essentially. It had the hotline to the Titans to tell them, you know, this place should be burned to the ground. Maybe he's already starting to question how much he wants to commit his life to ending the Legion. I don't know, man. He's having a serious existential moment over there, just hanging out behind the barrier. He's not even trying to break down the barrier. He could probably jump that. I guess that is not that high. He has wings. He could fly. He's just not trying that hard. Anyway. So yeah, Old War had the hotline to the Titans, telling them, hey, you need to burn this place to the ground. Old Dumb had the gun. Where are you? There you are. So, Old Dumb had the gun. It was essentially has a button there that reoriginates the entire planet. Which essentially means it just goes back to... It just wipes all life from it, and we're just gonna start over. Because I just can't. I guess that's why we kill the Watchers in Oldham, but it was never, like, said that they were corrupted or anything. They were just kind of there. And I guess we just wanted to kill everybody who knew how to use it? Like, I don't... That was really unclear, and... I wish there was more explanation as to why that was. Still a very cool instance, though. One of my favorites. I think it was originally supposed to be a raid of Old War, like, spanning thing, but... I guess they kept it as a dungeon because it was just like, well, this is basically just Old War, but Egyptian. Which I guess didn't offer that much in the way of new things. I think I might go back there at some point and just look around. I think we actually might make it this time. Hard part is over, just don't die at the lightning bolt. Where's the other one? There she is. Okay, the other... There's 3. Oh. Oh, no. 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 Okay, all I have to do is just not stand next to someone. No, no. Okay. Alright, we made it. That's beautiful. Alright. I had to concentrate for a moment there, because that was very stressful. Enjoy my icy caress. There's 4. Where's the 4th one? Does that one only show up? Oh, it probably only shows up on higher difficulties so that, you know, you have more of those, the ghosty goos. Alright, I think we might make it. This is exciting. This is amazing. I love every second of it. And hopefully I get some loot, because I've been pretty lucky with the loot today. I got a new trinket, I got a new artifact, I got something in the mail, which is probably just bat guano, honestly. It's just nothing but bat guano. Why does he just, like, groan every time I hit him? That's ridiculous. Alright. Yeah, no, we're almost done here. That's great. I like these fights. They're pretty interesting. I admit I like the first one better. The Kingarath. He activates a different mech every time, and you get a bonus to the damage you do against that mech before it activates. But if you don't kill it before it activates, then, you know, you're SOL. You gotta fight it. Why does she want to see my limbs roasting? What is it with her with limbs roasting? Just get a hobby, lady. Oh, if they're too close together, then they take reduced damage. Okay. I was wondering why they were glowing. I guess it's just specifically these two. I want to see your limbs roasting. Most people are okay with just, like, regular death. Come on. No, just don't. Don't do it. There we go. That's better. We can kill her. We can do this. We can do the thing. Get the points. Win the game. Yes. Forbidden Descent complete. Didn't get anything, but that's okay.
But they endured so much suffering. Let me bide with them for a time. Offer a bit of comfort.
You just... Is that what you're gonna do? You're just gonna hang on here and just go, hey, buddy. You okay? You doing good? Great. And just... Good job, buddy. Good job. So, that was some LFR. Bit of lore talking. I didn't get to do all the daily quests, but that's okay. I'll finish it up later. Alright, well, I think I'm going to end it here, now that all the boss fights are done, and I am running out of steam when it comes to talking. I'm going to need a lot of water. So, thank you all guys for coming. I appreciate you coming in and watching. Going to have another stream next week, but not the week after that, because I'll be on vacation. Yeah, so, y'all have a good night. Take care.